But I can say that we can actually speak to a Spurs fan now, Tottenham fan. Chris Cowlin, who is host of the Spurs Chat podcast, joins us. Chris, brilliant to speak to you. First of all, I don't know what you made of that statement.
Chris, Emma, good morning to you. I tell you what, the way I'm feeling at the moment, I do feel very gutted. I feel very frustrated. The supporters' trust put those words perfectly in that statement. Of course, the board have been heavily criticised since the Champions League final because, let's be fair and honest about it, the club has gone backwards every single time a signing has come in. It's been of lesser quality, and we have gone downhill ever since that sad night in Madrid. But Harry Kane leaving, we all feel gutted. We all wanted it to work for Harry Kane. We all wanted Harry Kane to be successful. Sadly, he's left the football club today, the day before our Premier League season starts tomorrow at Brentford. The timing is absolutely terrible. But all I question now is how we move forward. What is the ambition of the football club? Because we finished 8th last season in the Premier League table. No European football this season. And, when we finished 8th, Harry Kane scored 30 goals in 38 Premier League games. You take him now out of the equation, where on earth are Spurs going to finish this season? I want to try and put a positive spin on it because Ange Postecoglou has been a shining light ever since he's walked through the door on the 1st of July, in press conferences and the way that he sets the team up now. Hopefully we're going to play great attacking football. But I've got so much to say on this subject, so sorry for the ranting, but you bring in someone like James Maddison, who can then feed Harry Kane. James Maddison was there to replace Christian Eriksen, who we haven't had for some time. And now Harry Kane is leaving in the same window. I just think the timing, although Ange Postecoglou said that he knew that it would be coming, I just think the timing is really bad. There's no replacement. Another question is this £100 million from the sale of Harry Kane, is it going to be spent on the pitch? Is there a plan to bring in another striker, or is the plan to have Richarlison as the replacement, who only scored 1 Premier League goal for us in a struggling season for him last year? But I do think it is right to question the board. It is right to question Daniel Levy. He is the highest and best paid chairman in the Premier League. We have had a lot of bad decisions at the football club in recent years, and all of us just want to see ambition on the pitch to win trophies. Sadly, Harry Kane has now had to go to the Bundesliga to try and chase trophies in his career. He's not been successful at Spurs. There have been so many fantastic players leave the football club since 2008, since our last trophy, and they haven't been successful. And I just think the club need to do a whole lot more.
It's really interesting, strong points you put forward. Never apologise for ranting with us. We enjoy it. Daniel Levy has made some comments now, Chris. He said that he did seek to engage Harry Kane and his representatives in several forms of contract extension, both long and short term. So I guess, does it sadden you that Kane still decided, actually, no, I'd rather leave?
Look, the way that I see it is that someone like Harry Kane, he is a Champions League player. He is one of the world's elite players. 30 goals in 38 Premier League games in a struggling side and a mid-table team last season. It just says it all. He can do absolutely everything on the pitch. You have to match someone like his ambition. Now, Harry Kane would have looked at the squad, even though we've done some fairly decent business in the transfer window, a whole lot more to do if we're going to get anywhere near top 4 or even top 6 or even scrape into the Europa Conference League that we didn't do last season. You've got to match someone like his ambition. Harry Kane would have looked around that team and squad, in the last couple of weeks and said, what is this squad capable of? Are we capable of getting back into the Champions League? Probably not. It is a rebuild. Ange Postecoglou has put a lot of confidence into a lot of these players. He's put some confidence into a lot of fans, although some fans are still sceptical about him going forward because he's not managing the top European league. But Harry Kane ultimately has made that decision because he thinks that Spurs are going to go another season without winning a trophy. Yes, I get the club selling Harry Kane. I do understand it on paper, and I do understand it on paper that Harry Kane wants the move to win a trophy. What I don't understand is the timing is absolutely shocking, a day before our Premier League season starts. And what is the plan? I want the club to come out with a clear message to the fans to say, this is how much money we've got to spend. We will look to replace Harry Kane, although, how can you replace someone like him? But what I mean is getting a recognised striker in who can score goals in the Premier League and just have a plan going forward. I wish Harry Kane all of the very best, and I hope that he wins a hatful of trophies and perhaps comes back in some capacity, either as a player, a coach, a manager one day. We would all love to see that because he is a legend at our football club, leading goal scorer for Tottenham Hotspur and England. But what the next step is now is where Tottenham Hotspur go. What is the ambition? We need direction, and we need to move forward as a football club, because no European football is absolutely terrible for a club like Spurs. We have the best stadium, we have the best training facilities, we have everything the best off the pitch. Us fans are paying top money to see top entertaining football, which hopefully we're going to get under Postecoglou, but in recent seasons it hasn't been good enough on the pitch, and that is where we need to concentrate and invest heavily.
Yeah, obviously you've got that money to do that in some sort of way. You're talking about a rebuild and moving forward. I mean, you said a minute ago that you want a recognised striker who can perform in the Premier League. I mean, what are the options, Chris?
Well, that's a very good question. What are the options? How do you replace someone like Harry Kane? You don't. It's going to be very, very difficult. But of course, the board, if Ange Postecoglou said in his press conference yesterday that he has known since the 1st of July when he walked through the door that if an offer came in for Harry Kane, then they've been planning for it. But we're now the day before the Premier League season starts. So where is the planning in that? Spurs should have been going out actively trying to sign a recognised striker, either with Premier League experience or a fantastic striker from Europe or somewhere else in the world. But that's down to the football club to make a good decision to move this club forward again, because as I keep saying and as I keep worrying about, Spurs were 8th last season. You take Harry Kane out of that team. Many pundits come on Sky Sports day in, day out saying, and they have said for years, you take Harry Kane out of that team, Spurs could be a mid-table team. Yes, I get the fact that Ange Postecoglou will be playing great attacking football and it will be entertaining, but we are shipping goals at the back, and we will continue to ship goals at the back if we don't have more defensive reinforcements, in my opinion. So Spurs could be a mid-table team without Harry Kane, and that is the reality of it.
Is that your realistic expectation then? 8th with Kane, no better than mid-table this season without him?
Do you know what the saddest thing is? I normally go into the start of the season feeling really excited, really optimistic, and you know, the day before the Premier League season starts for us, our best player in Harry Kane leaves. But as I said earlier on in the interview, I want clarification from the football club that £100 million sale money from Harry Kane will be spent on the pitch, and it isn't to balance up the books for the likes of Maddison, Vicario and Van der Ven, who we've signed so far. So that money will be spent on the pitch, because it certainly needs to be in order for us to try and get any European football for next season.
And Chris, just lastly, Harry could, of course, make his Bayern Munich debut tonight. Will you watch it?
Oh, wow. Of course I'll watch it. But, yeah, it's I don't know what to say. I hope that Harry Kane is very successful at Bayern Munich. I don't think that you can really blame Harry Kane for wanting to move. You know, he has tried, and he said in that thank you message there that he's tried everything at Tottenham. He's tried to win trophies with Spurs, and sadly we haven't got over that line, because in most transfer windows we've always been 2 or 3 players short.
Chris, thank you so much for coming on. Lovely to chat to you this morning, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you.